I started watching the show, the show Alone? Have you heard of this show? Well, they have an Australian version, and guess where these people got sent? Tasmania. Yeah. I guess I've been on an Australia kick lately because I also watched Love on the Spectrum Australia again. And I just like hearing everybody say reckon all the time. They're like, we reckon? What do you reckon? Anyway, but this woman, the episode I just finished, she like caught a wallaby but with her hands, like jumped on it. Like, man.
And ate that.
She's like, I'm so happy. I was just having a
wallaby craving. Is that how that sentence ends?
Well, she'd eaten like 6 fish in the past month, so that's it.
So you feel like when we were a nomadic species, we just went around grumpy because we were just freaking hungry all the time. There were seasons of real hunger, and so people must have been a little testy, you know?
Yeah.
And you like,
kill
the other guy, and you're like, why'd you do that? And he's like, well, he insulted my loincloth.
Yeah, my loincloth. Yeah, mine is better, as you see.
I got beads hanging off of it.
Right. Yeah, mine is the fur of a patty melon. That's the other animal that they talk about all the time on the show. I'm like, a patty melon? I've never even heard of that. But apparently it's like a little kangaroo.
What is it? Patty melon?
P-A-D-E melon.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I came pretty close. Yeah, patty melon. All right, looks like a kangaroo. Small kangaroo.
Compared to a wallaby, I feel like both are like little
wallaby,
kangaroos.
Yeah. Oh, so how do you even know which one you've killed? It's kind of like,
I don't know.
What'd we just eat? I don't know. Here's a wallaby.
Fine. Oh,
more or less, you could be forgiven for thinking that's a
baby
kangaroo.
That totally looks like a baby kangaroo. Patty melon.
Yeah, well, wait till you see a patty melon.
Yep. Baby kangaroo.
It's a little more mousy and
yeah.
You can't tell me these species didn't all descend from one another, you know.
I guess kangaroos branched off a long time, like very far back. So that's why we don't have them over here. But they seem very similar to, I don't know.
Well,
this is a good lesson in like how animals it's like a really long time ago.
Yeah, tell us about it, Professor. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You study electricity? and
kangaroo
evolution.
That's right. Yep. Like kangaroos they're like kind of like deer, but like they broke off from deer like really far back, like really, really far. And I don't even know if that's true if it's deer. Mm-hmm.
Is there like scientific
and
evidence
like deer
for
and
this?
Horses. Yeah, deer and horses were like the same, even further back, like way back. Yeah, see, Noah only had to deal with like 5 kinds of animals way back then. So it's not the ark wasn't all that like loaded up, you know. It's like we think
wasn't
it was
all that big.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Because like then giraffes split off from them too. Like, you know, horses and giraffes are kind of similar. That's back far. Get it?
So Professor, when you say way back, like how far back are you talking?
Like way back. Way back. Like,
do we have any scientific evidence that supports your claims here?
Yeah, Google supports my claims. That important journal of Google. Yeah.
What time is your electricity seminar?
This week we're going to be putting that on hold so I can teach everyone about evolution of animals, specifically the giraffe, horse, kangaroo, like split. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I got a new desk, and so I'm trying to like rearrange a little because I'm like the shadows.
Okay. Yeah, no, you do have your ring light
I do have that. It's like just far away.
That's what you're adjusting.
Like, hi. Hi, Robert.
Welcome to the Robert and Kalyn's Nostrils podcast.
Looking clean.
No hair up there. Have you been waxing, Kalyn? That looks pretty good.
Oh, there's still some snot in there, I think.
Oh, I can't see it. Not from here. It's because of the shadows. Try to adjust your ring light.
Good lighting.
That nose a little better.
That's perfect. Yeah.
This is what people tune in for. This kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good listening. Is Tasmania its own country, or is that part of Australia? I think it's part of Australia, right?
This is a great question. I would expect a kangaroo studier to know this, but...
well, yeah, I stopped. That's where my expertise ends, is like once we get to the evolution part where the patty melons and wallabies and stuff split from there. And go to Tasmania. That's not my area.
Got it. What is your prediction? Yes or no? Tasmania is its own country.
I think no, it's not its own country.
Answer is no. Tasmania is not its own country. It is one of the 6 states that make up Australia. Name the other 5.
New South Wales, North South, or something like that. The Gold Coast is, I don't know. What is Adelaide in? Some Perth? I don't know. No, I'm done.
Perth's a city, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So is Adelaide's a city also. The reason I went to Adelaide is because that's in a different state than New South Wales. And in New South Wales, you're not allowed to hold koalas, but in this state, you are. So that's why I went there.
Here are the states.
So
these are the official states. They're kind of not that great at naming states in Australia, I gotta say.
No surprise.
So you got New South Wales.
Yep.
That's not bad. Victoria, that's a cool name. Queensland, really kind of focused on the Queen here, but anyhow. So we got two states. All right, then we get to the Tasmania, as we mentioned, obviously. But then come Western Australia and South Australia. This is the best we can think of. Adelaide is in South Australia and Perth is in Western Australia. That's probably why you couldn't think of the states, because they're just freaking boring.
Yeah. So they're like, we're going to claim a whole bunch of islands that nobody fucking want because they're like so close to Antarctica or whatever. Like,
yeah, there's like a rock, a wallaby, and 6 Australians like
fighting over who gets to like jump on the wallaby and use it for a loincloth. Like,
and like,
and they're like, what do you reckon?
Putting shrimps on the barbie.
Totally. Yeah.
Hey, get off me, wallaby. That's my wallaby.
Hey, what do you reckon? I reckon that's mine.
I reckon it's my wallaby. This rock isn't big enough. This is Cartier Island.
I don't know why.
Cartier. No, it's not. Your name is Jones.
I love listening to Australians get into fights and stuff. It's the best. Because, like, I don't know, I found some clips on Reddit lately that are like, it's like 2 guys waiting for another guy to pull out of a little place you put in your boat or whatever. Put in, I think is what they're called, which is fucking retarded. Anyway,
the same guy who named that is the one who named Western Australia, you know? So, hey, like, hey, George, like, what do you call it? What do you... what should we call that? It's where you put in a boat. What should we call it?
Put in.
All right. We got this other thing that we're thinking about. Like, where you drive on with your car? What should we call that?
Drive on.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
What should we call this? We keep coffee in it. What should we call it?
Hey, coffee in.
Coffee in. What about
this
the state
part of
in
my
the
body
south?
Is a food in. Like, these are called lookouts. Like,
really? I would have said look in.
You don't look into those. Yeah, I look out. Put food in. Anyway, I don't know. But,
what do you want? What should we call the state in the south of Australia? What should we call that?
Let's call it South Australia.
Genius, man.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Now let's go get Foster's and
look out and have some shrimp on the barbie and wrestle me wallaby.
Yeah.
We're totally ready to talk to this Josh guy. We're totally ready. They couldn't think of one person to honor with a state name except for freaking Queen Victoria. Not even the biggest, baddest criminal they had. They couldn't name it after him or her. They probably kept submitting ideas to the United Kingdom for approval, and the UK's like, no,
and it's like, motherfucker, this state we want to name "Fuck You, England." Or we could just call it Western Australia. And they're like, okay, that one.
They're like, fuck. Dude,
what do you reckon?
I had a bet on it was going to be called "Fuck You, England" territory.
That's what I was hoping for. I was like, please, fuck you, England. Please. What do you reckon?
Well, you were down there for the vote, so you know these guys. Like,
oh, yeah. Which was crazy. So I was like, sitting at the bar, and I'm like, okay, I don't understand the mentality here at all. Like, it's just the polar opposite of, like, the American. Why on earth would you stay? And they're like, it's okay. And I'm like, what the fuck?
We get a visit from the royals once a decade, and
right, yeah. So let's just keep giving them a bunch of money, and I don't know. They let us pretend to be our own country. Canada's fine with it, so.
Well, who knows what's going on with geopolitics right now? I mean, I don't know. I think I told you about this.
Good things.
I mean, it's been a couple weeks now since Vladimir Zelensky was in that White House meeting. Anyway, I'm out to dinner with my conservative friends afterwards.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, he didn't even wear a suit. And I'm like, you're going to upend, a century of alliances and turn your back on a struggling democracy and an ally because you don't like the guy's shirt.
Put on your suit, motherfucker. Don't you care?
And he was a little snarky, and they heard he said under his breath, bitch, when...
what?
JD...
How have we not already declared war on them, is what I want to know.
That's it. Europe out, Russia in.
Yeah. Right.
Wear a suit, goddamn.
We're going to start bombing the Ukraine now. Let's turn this around.
Well, they literally shut off military aid and supplies after that meeting, because why?
Yeah, I think he didn't go far enough. I don't think that's far enough. I think we should
declare war on Ukraine.
That's right. Yes. I am offended. He called JD Vance a bitch. What?
Yeah.
I can't believe. And he didn't wear a suit. I mean, he basically declared war on himself. That's what happened. No. You do not come up in this house and act that disrespectfully without serious repercussions.
I know. You watch that video in totality. You're definitely like, Zelensky's the one disrespecting these guys. I mean, here they are, just cool as cucumbers.
Right. Didn't J.D. Vance say, you haven't said thank you once, or something like that?
He was why don't you try saying thank you? And
it's he has, over the years, the whole time, whatever.
1 million times. And then Trump's like, you don't have the cards. You don't have the cards.
You didn't wear a suit? Fuck off. I'm not helping you anymore.
At least the French cat wears a suit, and the UK guy. That's why we're in good with UK.
Yeah.
Not only he wore a suit, he invited me to dinner with the king. Okay? Now that's how diplomacy is done.
That's how you act. That is how you act. If you don't want war declared on your country. It's very basic.
This week the big deal is Schumer and... Did you hear about the budget, right? The continuing resolution.
Okay, yeah, budget. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You were listening with bated breath. I've heard the word budget. This is Kalyn, representative of most Americans. I have heard the word budget. And
yes, I know
Congress
that word.
had something to do with it. Yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
So anyway. The Republicans, by hook or by crook, somehow got this budget through Congress, the Congress side, the lower house. So there's two houses in the U.S. Government.
Okay.
Kalyn.
Yep.
This lower house is called the Congress.
And...
Upper house. No, that's a different branch. No.
Dang it.
See?
So there's three houses.
Well, I guess there's four if you consider the Supreme Court a house, but.
That's not a house. That's a court.
All right, listen. Back when you were studying Wallabies, okay, If you'd have gone to government class, you would have learned there's 3 branches of government.
Recently.
Well, I think we should get the episode started, Kalyn. Why don't we cue the music? You are listening to Robert and Kalyn Hunt Wallabies, also known as Robert and Kalyn Get Rich. I'm your host, Robert Kimmel. This is your other host, Kalyn Kimmel. This is episode 45. Like, at this point, it sounds like we're making up numbers. But this is episode 45. It is March 19th, 2025. A rare Wednesday episode. We're going to be cramming in the editing process before I fly.
Even rarer before noon episode.
Yeah, Kalyn, look, I had to get up early. Oh my God, it's almost uncivilized. 8 a.m.? Who gets up before 8 a.m.? Jesus.
I don't know. Savages is who. I was like, should I just stay up all night?
I mean, do I work in a steel mill? What is this?
Yeah. I'm like slave labor right now. My slavish dedication to this podcast forced me to get up.
Exactly.
7:30.
Well, if you're slavishly devoted to this podcast, please leave us a comment, rate, review, subscribe. Send us to all of your friends. And this is a fine place to come for wallaby hunting advice, but one thing it is not.
Is investment or financial advice.
Yeah,
unless that advice has to do with how to kill a wallaby.
Yeah, if these two realms intersect, then I guess you could.
We are giving
advice.
Absolutely.
Advice. All right. Sorry, I think I'm hogging bandwidth because I went over to YouTube to see if anybody left their name for us to read on air.
Oh.
And the answer, there she is.
Did they? Justin.
Now you're frozen on the fish face. Yeah.
Wallaby.
Here's my wallaby impression.
Justin and Kelly. Yeah.
I'm going to send that clip to Josh when I'm like, hey, do you want to come on our podcast? Here's what we're all about.
Yeah. Wallabies related to giraffes.
Very distantly related.
They're very distantly related to giraffes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm a bastion of scientific knowledge here.
When did they split? When did they split again?
Way back. Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And I had so many serious topics to talk about, but yeah, we got nobody who gave us their name to mention on the podcast, but someone whose handle is like Saphis or something wrote, love this podcast. So thank you, Saphis.
We love you too.
I don't have it up anymore, so if I'm...
Saphis. I love you.
All right, that's going to go on our advertisement.
Saphis. Oh, that's nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Wonder who Saphis is.
Yeah.
You think
it's not Mom.
Lucky Nuts? No, it's not. They still
Lucky Nuts has competition, I have to say.
Yeah.
Not Mom. All right, should we look at the Get Rich portfolio?
Yes.
This is the part Saphis really likes.
Yeah.
The portfolio reviews. All right, the day is turning out better than it started because it opened like down a whole 1% or more.
Sheesh.
And now it is down 0.01%. Yeah, so we're only up 3%. We've now have more realized gains than unrealized, which stinks.
Crazy. Yeah. It's like we were up by so much. I'm surprised that,
I know.
I guess that's how it goes, but.
That is how it goes. Fannie Mae is back up. Oh, 577. It's buy time again, Kalyn. This got up into the 6s at one point.
Who else is doing well?
It never hit the 7s though, so I never pressed sell, but it did get up into the 6s. So and it's back on its way back
good.
up.
So then how's the S&P?
They're having an up day, which is good. I need more up days in my life, in my real life.
Yeah.
But they're still underwater lifetime compared to when we started the podcast.
Well, but they were up a couple weeks ago. Everybody was up, I guess, but they were up something like 10%, weren't they? Wasn't it?
Yeah, they were up
a few weeks back.
Yeah, we were up 18 and they were up 8. Now we're up 3 and they're down 0.5%. It's Thank you, President Trump.
Yeah, well,
I'm not happy with you.
You're not happy with President. I am happy with us as, our portfolio is looking good. Took a long time, but, we're still winning.
I like winning, but I like winning up 18% even better.
So how are our friends doing?
Yeah, let's see what the friends are doing. We call it the guest portfolio, not really our friends. I'm not sure we even like them. They're down 6%, so they're back in the doldrums, back where they were.
Yeah. Good.
Having an update today, but
where they belong. And one of them, Pulte Holmes. Yee. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Highbrow,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, this one was up 12%. 13%.
Yeah.
Now it's down lifetime. So
wow.
I guess that kid isn't so smart after all.
That's right.
Tell Kiara to dump him. Chuck him to the side.
Yeah.
Kiara, kid can't pick stocks.
Chuck him. Yeah, that kid's dumb. Get rid of him.
So in this economic environment, you got to look to alternatives like the Justin tariff portfolio. Let's see how that's doing.
Yeah.
He's down 3% as well. Although up almost 1% today.
Yeah.
Freaking Whirlpool.
Can't dig out of the hole. Wasn't that his prediction that it would be like go down and before it went up or something? What was?
Well, in fairness, it was when the tariffs come off, these will recover the most. The ones that went down the most. Okay. But he did think the tariffs were going to come.
So he was expecting that they will go down. I don't know. Have the tariffs happened? I don't know.
Yeah, they're on. Or some of them. I don't know. I got to read the paper today to see if they're still on.
Like, if you don't know, then God knows. I mean, I've heard the word tariff, but...
let's see. We can't hold Justin to our baseline. Let's see what he did against his baseline. So he's down 3%. Okay. The baseline's down 2.5%. So Justin, we gotta hope for a good
Justin,
spring back.
Keep your day job, Justin.
Hey, don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
I know.
When they take off.
Oh no, we looked pretty bad for the first 6 months or something that we were doing the podcast. We're like, Robert and Kalyn get rich, or maybe Robert and Kalyn just lose money faster than the S&P. Whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't have as good of a ring to it, but.
All right, you got static, so jiggle your wires.
Oh, I do?
Yes.
Okay. It's staticky now?
Yes. Now you're staticky and your tongue's hanging out.
What is that now?
Yeah, still even with that. All right, try a different facial expression. That still gives you static.
Do you feel more static?
Still static.
What is that now? How's it now?
How is it that none of your job interviews have paid off? I don't get it. I mean,
I don't know.
You must have gone.
Every time I'm like, hello, everybody. I can be a consultant. You know, me talking to a C-suite guy.
Can you tell us about a time when you had to make a challenging decision and convince?
I had to decide just now between this face and this face, and that was very hard. I went with this one though. Yeah.
Can you tell me about a time you disagreed with a colleague and you had to convince them your way was superior?
Nope. They always know from the get-go that I've got the superior way. So that never happens to me. Never happens.
Oh,
everyone's like you're a genius. You're a genius. Yeah.
They're debriefing the interview in the back room, and they're like, well, she has a lot of confidence, but I don't know about the silly faces. Do you think
you don't want me?
You don't think that's going to sit
I'm like,
well
nobody ever disagrees with me, ever. Nobody disagrees with her, so maybe they're too distracted by that.
Our colleagues are like, all right, let's check in with Kalyn. Let's see what she thinks on this issue. Like,
Don't ask stupid questions.
But Kalyn, we're trying to decide, should we invest a little more in the AI customer centricity model, or do you think
obviously, yes, obviously, that's obvious. Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't believe people wouldn't think this is investment advice, you know?
I don't know, yeah. And people listening to it in the car are certainly going to love that part where I'm like...
Sassafras, Sarafes really loves it. Anyway, yeah, you got to fix your static. Get back to the static fixing.
Okay.
Enough of your funny faces. So we've talked about this a couple of times, but I figure it's worth revisiting. Back to renaming Fort Liberty.
Oh, Fort Bragg. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's been official now. They've officially renamed it. They had a renaming ceremony. They invited members of the Bragg family from, as you recall, Private First Class Bragg, who got a Silver Star.
Right.
Fought in some battle in World War II.
World War I or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But Roland L. Bragg, his family was there, and he's a real nice guy.
I'm sure.
And there's his family member crying tears of joy. Yeah. This is like winning the lottery or something. Like, what are the chances?
No kidding. I mean, right.
But this is the line that grabbed me, that the cost of renaming army bases named for Confederates was estimated at about $39 million. And I'm like, wow. And the cost of naming it back to Fort Bragg would be less than $1 million. I'm like, what are these costs going into? I mean, they've got this sign.
Yeah, we got different signs. Yeah, those signs are expensive. They're like $1 million a piece based on these estimates. There's $39 million for Confederate ones, but only $1 million to rename this one. So
we got
sign,
business cards.
$1 million. Yeah, one sign, $1 million. That's how the army works. They're like, we don't know how to...
I mean, I think this is like vinyl lettering, so you could probably like scratch it off, and...
It's like done by some artisan who's like whittling it away bit by bit. He's like 97. He's like, it's going to cost $1 million. That's if I don't die.
He knew the original General Bragg.
That's right.
We found the last surviving artist who knew General Bragg.
Right. And we're like, come on, Grandpa, start whittling.
It's probably not the only sign in Fort Bragg. There's probably some on the buildings and stuff, and there's...
Yeah. See? That's a lot of money in signs there, you know? We, have somebody, with a pick and hammer, on marble, clink, 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 clink. Fuck, I fucked it up. I gotta start over. You know, this won't work.
Fucking Flintstones, right?
That's right, yeah. That's why it cost $1 million to rename it.
You gotta retrain the receptionist, you know? Phone keeps ringing, and she's like, thanks for calling Fort Liberty.
Hi,
and you're like,
this is Fort... Damn it, Janice! It's Fort Bragg!
I told you!
She's like,
I told you a million times!
Yeah. I'm sorry, Commander. I'm sorry. I'll get it right, I promise. Or Colonel. I don't know. Whatever.
Now they've moved on. They renamed Fort Moore, which was named after Lieutenant General Harold Moore and his wife Julia, is going to be named again, back to being named Fort Benning. The base was originally named for Henry L. Benning, a Confederate and white supremacist. Mr. Hegseth again. And who did they decide to name it after now? Corporal Fred G. Benning, a guy who served in World War I. And he was
did
a corporal.
Nothing. He was there for a day and a half. And
well, he made it to corporal, so he's the next level up from private, you know? So he had 2 stripes on his sleeves instead of 1.
What's wrong with naming it after a white supremacist? I mean, that seems fine. God, these people. I'm glad they found another Benning.
This wasn't some guy who was just like, I love my homeland, I'm going to defend Virginia, you know? It was no, I really think whites are supreme.
Yeah, he's like,
fighting
I'm
to literally
behind the Klan. The Ku Klux Klan really has some good ideas. I like their outfits, and, you know, it's fun to, sometimes have burning crosses and stuff like that. Just, you know.
Yeah. How do you feel if you're Lieutenant General Moore and they're like, nope, you're not named that anymore.
Gotcha.
We're pulling it. Not you, Lieutenant General Moore.
Yeah.
What was the story with Lieutenant General Harold Moore? Lieutenant General Harold Moore was the stern and resolute Colonel Moore, played by Mel Gibson in We Were Soldiers, the gritty and somber war film that dramatized the 1965 Battle of Ia Drang in Vietnam. His wife, Julia, played by Madeline Stowe in the movie, had a significant role on the home front during the battle. She offered... Okay, here's her significant role. She offered emotional support to the families of the dead.
She sent them a basket of muffins. Oh, your husband died. Here's some muffins. That's my emotional
We're gonna support our boys. Here's a
pie. That's right. I made you a pie to ease with your morning.
All right,
sadness.
so she began accompanying the drivers and offering condolences to. All right, so it's not nothing, but
yeah, I am offering my condolences
and baked goods.
Sorry, your person died. Condolences. Bye. Got a lot of houses to visit today.
What richer source for humor than dead soldiers?
Indeed.
Speaking of names, here's the setup for this one. Have you heard about these two astronauts that got stuck on the space station?
I just saw that they're coming back home or something.
They came home yesterday. They were supposed to go up for an 8-day mission, and there were these technical difficulties, I think, the Elon Musk rocket, and they got stuck up there for 9 months, okay?
Oh, my God.
And they came home yesterday, and by the way, side note, on your own time, go watch the videos, because a school of dolphins came and greeted their capsule, and they made a thing of that. And it's kind of cool and fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who are these astronauts? This is really we're just going to make fun of a guy's name here. The astronauts' names were...
Let's do it.
Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams. And there they are. So Sunny, or maybe it's Suni. I think she's of Indian descent or part Indian. No, that's not Butch. That's Suni. But I was just when I heard the astronaut coming back was Butch, I was like, isn't this like a name from the 60s?
I thought that was a nickname.
Like Gus Grissom. Like, we sent Butch on the first shuttle ride, not the one last year. So this cat Butch, I just didn't think we were sending Butches up into space anymore, you know? And the guy's 62. So this guy's an astronaut. We're sending up an astronaut. He's 62 years old.
That's an old Yeah, don't they need to do physical stuff or whatever? That guy's, he's like, I'm going up one more time.
Well, they were probably like, well, we shouldn't send him up. He is 62, but it's only 8 days.
It's only 8 days, yeah. He'll be fine. How do they have enough food for that amount of time and stuff?
They must have the space station packed to the gills with food, I guess. I don't know.
Other people come up, are there people up at the space station all the time, the International Space Station?
There are, and I think there were 2 others at the space station that were already there when these guys came, and they just didn't know they were going to have live-in roommates for another 9 months, you know? So...
Yeah, I have no, idea how big the International Space Station is, full stop. Is it, the size of a mall? I don't know. We got all these, if there's, a billion satellites constantly flying around, why don't the satellites run into each other either, or into the International Space Station or anything else? I don't know. I don't understand space.
And I've heard space is, full of trash, so
junk. Yeah, right. We've gone and polluted all that too,
because of course we did. All right,
that dolphin story is pretty awesome, though. That's
we can look for those dolphins here in a minute, but first we're gonna look at how big is the space station.
357 feet end to end.
Yeah,
it's almost the equivalent of a football field. A little bigger than a football field.
But it's long. It's skinny. It's it's this big for 300 yards.
Yeah, so I know those panels are, I know those panels. I don't know shit about any of it, but,
Really? They didn't teach you that in Wallaby school?
The dark part, I was very busy learning about electricity on the day that they told us about the International Space Station, you know? Actually, never mind. I don't know what those panels are about because I was gonna say they're like solar panels or some shit, but like that doesn't make sense.
I think they are solar panels. I think that's what they are. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's where they get their energy from, or at least some of it.
Like, maybe I should be quiet on this point.
Like, it has more livable room than a conventional 6-bedroom house, which I didn't know a
conventional 6-bedroom. Yeah, right.
It's more room, but it's all the size of an elevator shaft. You know, it's like you can live.
I mean, aren't they like mechanics at the end of the day? They're always there to like fix shit, like or whatever. I don't know. Like basically, that's what I think. I just think they like go up there to like drop off supplies, fix some solar panels that are fucked up, whatever, and then
run some goddamn pea pod science experiment. You know, like
right? Yeah, they're like, let's see how this seed grows better in this with this music playing or that one. Like, you know, that's all they do.
Shoot some raccoons into space and see if they survive, and like. Nope.
You almost made me snarf. Almost came out my nose. Yeah.
Raccoons don't survive in space.
What about
Check
Wallaby? Should we put a Wallaby out in space?
Wallaby? This is America. It's America. We're shooting raccoons.
It's the International Space Station, though. We share.
Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did send another crew up there, so the next crew is now up there. I don't know how this. Maybe they passed in space, like the two guys coming home passed.
Like, hey, right.
But the new crew has an American, an Italian, and a Russian, and I'm like, wait a minute. We get along fine, I guess. It's like whatever's going on down there in the negotiating rooms. We can still be friends and brothers up here on the International Space Station.
Yeah, with our little experiments and like fixing stuff. This Russian dude is very good at fixing the solar panel, so we're fine with
I mean, democracy's one thing. Like saving democracy, sure, that's important, but listen, whether pea pods can grow upside down in a clump of dirt.
Yeah, totally.
And the Washington Elementary School in Topeka, Kansas sent up this experiment where we bounce rubber balls into springs.
Little Billy Phillips wants to know, can these springs work just as well if you put them on your shoes in the International Space Station and bounce around? Like,
Billy, watch this.
Yeah, and he just like floats down the hall. He's like, I float, no gravity.
Yeah.
What are we doing with that International Space Station anyways? Like, what's the plan there?
It's a symbol of peace and love and scientific progress for all mankind.
We couldn't have just put a statue up there or something? We could have had a satellite that was like...
Well, we've done that. No, or not.
Yeah, I know. We got a lot of satellites. Like, we don't have to have a man thing. Like, yay!
It has to be a statue that can
NASA.
conduct science experiments sent by little Billy Parker from Washington Elementary in Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah.
Our letter of the week this week was L.
Ooh.
L? Well, listen, we did Hyatt, right?
Oh, I thought I was like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letter L. Ba, 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 da, ba. Bang, bang. L is for Lowe's.
And for lick. Like,
This is a real facial expressions episode.
I did
isn't it?
I know. I guess I'm goofy in the morning. Yeah. So
yeah, we wake you up early. This is how you get slap happy when people get up at 8 a.m. It's not good for you. It's not good for you. Sleep until 12. We can have
this is why
totally
we don't have
normal...
board meetings. Yeah, you don't have board meetings at 8 a.m. and here's why. Because you're like, I'm 42.
Madam Chairman.
What? You think I'm acting like...
Madam Chairman, we need to decide. We're going to divest. Should we divest the oil wells?
Like, what? Shut up. I don't know.
Damn it, Johnson. We're trying to... We try to hold these board meetings, and the chairwoman, Kalyn, she can't control herself.
Like, I've had coffee.
I get an email once a week saying like we think you're a great pick for this board. Will you please email us back? And I will send them this video now. I mean, like, I think I should be like,
and here's
listen,
why.
I don't think I'm such a great board pick, but my sister.
My sister. I know what to do with your business. Like, yeah, I've gotten emails that are like, you should join our board, and I'm like, why would you want me to join a board? Like, how did you even find me? Like, you make sense. You had like a business that you've built, and so all of that. Like, me. Like, I've been unemployed for 2 years now, so, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I really have board member, like, written all over me here. Like, I don't know. I mean,
that's why you should give it a try, and you should, like, wear a body cam.
Unorthodox pick. Yeah.
Record the board meeting.
Just come in wearing a GoPro. Like, yeah. I don't know. I'm, like,
a
reminding
crazy
myself
wig,
of, like,
and you're like...
Yeah.
Like, is that your real hair? That bright orange hair?
You're like, yes, I'm insulted. You would even ask. Like,
if that doesn't get you a board seat, I don't know what will. So
yeah, me neither.
So just recalling, Hyatt was our last letter stock, and we took a pass on that. There is no I, as you recall.
By the way, like, if I do become a board member, I'm going to be like, okay, the first thing we need to do is lock down that I ticker. Like, how is this one available? You know, like, I don't...
True. And they'll be like, Kalyn, we are race car road company. Like...
Yeah, let's do it. We
don't have I in the name. Like,
I love Race Car Road Company. See, easy. Like,
well, it is available. Our current ticker, RACRKR. It's not.
Yeah,
doing
it's
us
too
any
many
favors.
letters.
So after I comes J. J is Jacobs Engineering. We talked about them.
Which,
as you recall, we shorted Amentum as part of that thought process.
Yeah.
You guys, listeners, you can go back to episode, I don't know, 23 or so to 40, hear more about that.
23, yeah.
Feels like it was about 20 episodes ago, something like that.
Yeah.
K is Kellanova. We talked about them like 25 episodes ago. That feels like definitely ancient history.
Did we buy Kellanova? I can't remember.
We do have an investment in Kellanova, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, naturally. And so then next is...
So after
L.
K comes L, and L stands for Loews, but it is not the Loews you think. It is Loews, Loews.
Oh, it's the movie theater.
Yeah, so they are not, in fact, in movie theaters anymore. They're basically the company, the conglomerate owned by the Tisch family, who you've probably never heard of, but they own one or other of the sporting outfits out there. They own the New York Giants, or at least co-owners of the New York Giants. And their main holdings are CNA, a financial insurance company, Boardwalk Pipelines, a packaging company, and they are in these Loews hotels.
They were in the movie theater business, weren't they?
They were in the movie theater business.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how they got. That was like their first big thing, 1959. So it used to be that the movie companies owned the movie theaters. So like MGM owned the movie theaters, and there was an antitrust lawsuit that broke that up, and so people came in and bought the movie theaters, starting with Loews, but they basically proceeded to like tear them all down and sell them and make them into hotels and things. So that's how they got into hotels.
Oh,
but I did think this was interesting. As I was digging in. So they're like, right now, our market capitalization, in other words, the stock market is telling us that the parent company's worth $18.5 billion, right? Well, we're majority owners of CNA, but it's also publicly traded, and the market tells us that's worth $12.2 billion, leaving 6.3. We also have cash in the bank of $1.5 billion, so we're now up to 13.7, right? Yeah. That means these three companies are worth only $4.8 billion combined, right?
Yeah.
So CNA, their net income is $1 billion. Yeah. So they're trading at 12 times net income. That's a 12 times PE multiple. So that's very reasonable.
Okay.
Loews Hotels, they have 26 hotels. and
Yeah.
2,000 under development. But their EBITDA is 300 million. So at, I don't know, 10, they should be worth about 3 billion, you know. And then Altium Packaging, they give no financials for it all, but they focus on short and mid-run volumes.
Okay, yeah, so do I.
They make water bottles and pill cases.
And
there's nothing here at all.
Yeah.
But I would think whatever this is worth, it's worth more than zero. Boardwalk, this is the pipeline, so their EBITDA's $1 billion.
Okay.
So that's got to be worth at least $5 billion. So they've got a case here on this. How
do you feel about them? How do you feel about Lowe's?
Well, I like that the fact that I like their case that they're undervalued. I wanted to share with you the one news article. So 29 days ago, the Tisch family appointed its third generation of CEO.
Okay.
So here's the Tisches.
Isn't this called nepotism?
This is absolutely nepotism. But
so how is that okay?
There's no law against nepotism. Half of the companies in America would buckle if you couldn't let your kids.
What do you mean? I thought it's not allowed. I thought all companies say there shouldn't be nepotism. It's like
maybe companies say that there shouldn't be, but so Ben Tisch is the new CEO. He taking over from his father and grandfather. He took it over from James, but Ben's cousin, Alex Tisch, leads the hotel division. All right, well, I'm going to go Google Alex Tisch.
It's cute.
Yeah, and he's real cute because he's rich.
He got a Harvard MBA.
What?
Oh, my God. How did he get into Harvard? How did he get into Harvard?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Oh, he went to Penn and got an MBA from NYU Stern. Okay, anyway, Lowe's Hotels is 300 million, 25 hotels and 300 million. Hyatt was what?
Yeah, what billions. Hotels are they? That's what I want to know. What are they? What hotels do they own?
Well,
are they called Lowe's? Are they all called
Lowe's? Yeah, Lowe's Hotels.
Yeah. They're not, but
Well, yeah, can you imagine you haven't heard of a hotel chain that has 25 hotels? Hard to imagine, but it's true.
Yeah, that's like the middle, upper, lower segment of Hyatt or something.
Well, on their website, as you'll see, they say that they are luxury.
About where to park.
Lowe's.
Good. I don't like worrying about parking.
When you Google them, they say that they are luxury hotels. Yeah, destinations. Here they all are.
Arlington, Texas. Naturally.
They got 2 in Arlington, and
and they're called Lowe's.
Live by Lowe's. I don't know what that means.
Lowe's.
Like they got so many, 25 so many that you can't have them all have the same brand. We got to have this live brand too.
No way. No way. Well, I like them. I think we should buy it because they've got a cute family. All right. Good EBITDA. Yeah.
Somehow they managed to get into the top business schools in America.
Yeah, right. Mysteriously.
They're making the case
there were
like
donations. Yeah, they did have that NYU one. Yeah. So they got that. Like their C-suite has both a Harvard and an NYU grad. That's designed for us. Yeah,
all right, I'm sold. We're making another addition to the portfolio. Okay. Should we drop anything from the portfolio?
Yay! No. What do you mean? Sell stuff? Not a chance. Gummy bear.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
I had to wait. I had to move a sewing machine to make room for this scale.
Man.
This is my project.
Awesome.
All right, we're weighing it at 1 pound, 3 ounces. We are
Look
down.
out. Yeah.
We might break.
And I'll be up there in just a
today.
couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'll be up there in a couple of
weeks.
weeks.
We got 6 episodes to go, so I got to eat 1/6
of
this, or maybe a little less to save some for later. But.
Yeah, because I'll be up there before our 50th episode, so I think we'll get at least one in before. How much you eat?
I ate 1.5 ounces, so we're down to 1 pound,
nice.
1.5 ounces. I sort of dialed it back to make sure we save a little for everyone to have a bite of this beauty right here.
This was once a bear.
Here, Justin. Here, Kelly. Yeah. Here's one. I know you can't probably tell on the camera, but here's one unadulterated surface. And then this one, maybe you can find some original surface here and here, but
So yeah, that flat side, they'd have to just stick their face right in the middle of it so that they stayed away from the teeth marks.
Take a bite of this.
Like,
and now it's been all over. It's been all over
yep,
my
now
face.
it's gonna have all your hairs and like some fuzz stuck to it and whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. It's very nice.
Yum. All right. Back in the bag it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a good purchase for sure.
Oh my God. Have we got a lot of mileage out of that?
Did you? Yeah.
I don't know.
Shall we call it a day?
Yeah, I think wewe've run out of steam. Probably because we started early.
Yeah.
We started so early. We just.
I'm playing.
I will say we did a lot of highbrow humor this podcast. A lot of highbrow. Folks, if you don't understand the humor, you gotta read more Shakespeare and more like.
Yeah.
Here's our rendition of Romeo and Juliet. Here we go, Kalyn. But soft, what light from yonder window breaks?
Romeo, come on, Romeo.
It is the east, and Juliet is the sun.
Romeo, you're
wherefore
so hot.
art thou, Romeo, arose by any other
Romeo.
name? Would be just as sweet.
Totally. Yeah.
All right. If that's not a signal, it's time to end the episode. I don't know what is. Let's cue the music.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Robert and Kalyn.
Be goofy.
Robert and Kalyn Be Silly. Also known as the Robert and Kalyn Get Rich podcast. Thanks for listening today. Make sure that you like and subscribe and send this to all your friends. All the friends who are like, literary scholars studying Shakespeare.
Right. Who are like, I want to know what a couple of well-educated 40-something-year-olds talk about. Like,
hey.
And it's this.
Another good audience for this would be anybody who's like an evolutionary biologist. I think they would get a lot out of this. Yeah. And anybody who's looking for board seat members, board members,
come
to the right place. If you have any of those things, email us at robertandkalyngetrich@gmail.com. Kalyn is spelled Kalyn. The one thing you should not do, and I know it's tempting. I know this is very, very tempting.
This is not investment or financial advice.
Yeah.
Don't treat it that way.
This episode has been dedicated to Butch and to the new cat who's got an army base named after him. Congrats, guys. Welcome home, Butch.
Yep.
All right. I think that's it, Kalyn. Let's say goodbye.